She left him there, alone, helpless. In front of everyone, the waiter whispered as he watched the billionaire's wheelchair roll slightly forward. She didn't even say goodbye, and just when the whole caf turned away, a stranger walked in. A little girl holding his hand looked at the man and said, "Daddy, can we help him?" That one question would change all three of their lives forever. The cafe buzzed with the low hum of laughter and clinking cups, the kind of everyday warmth most people took for granted, but for Nathan Cole, the billionaire CEO everyone in town had read about. It was the first time in years he felt brave enough to sit among strangers. He sat near the window, his wheelchair gleaming faintly under the soft light. His dark-tailored suit was impeccable, but his hands trembled slightly as he adjusted his cufflinks. This was his first date since the accident, the one that had taken not only his mobility, but the woman he'd loved. He'd built his fortune from nothing, turned tragedy into empire. But behind the sharp reputation and endless headlines, Nathan Cole was just a man, broken, lonely, and desperate to be seen as something more than the paralyzed billionaire. At exactly 6 p.m., she arrived, Vanessa, the woman he'd met through a private social network for professionals. She was radiant, designer dress, perfect smile, eyes that glimmered more from ambition than warmth. "Mr. Cole," she said, sliding into the seat across from him. "It's an honor to finally meet the man behind Cole Industries." Nathan smiled politely. "Please, just call me Nathan." For the first few minutes, everything seemed fine. Polite conversation, small talk about business and travel. But then, her eyes began to drift to his wheelchair, to the tremor in his hand as he lifted his glass. When he tried to speak about the things he loved, painting, jazz, poetry, she barely listened. Her phone buzzed. Once, twice. She glanced down, smiled, then stood. "I'm sorry, Nathan," she said, her tone distant. "Something's come up. I have to go." He blinked, confused, but "We just got here," she shrugged. "It's not a good time." "You understand." Before he could reply, she walked out, heels clicking, perfume fading, and just like that, the room around him blurred. Conversations faded to whispers. A waiter approached, hesitant. "Sir, would you like me to cancel your order?" Nathan looked down at his reflection in the glass of water. The man he used to be looking back at him. "Hollow-I. No," he whispered. "Leave it. 10 minutes passed. Then 20. The world outside moved on, cars, laughter, couples holding hands, while he sat frozen in silence, and then the caf door chimed open. A man walked in, wearing a plain coat and carrying a little girl no older than 7. Her hair was tied in 2 messy braids, and she clutched a stuffed bear so tight it looked warm from love. They looked ordinary. But what happened next was anything but. The girl tugged on her father's sleeve. "Daddy, why is that man sad?" The father smiled softly. "Maybe he just needs a friend." The little girl didn't hesitate. She walked straight toward Nathan. He blinked, startled. "Hello there, She smiled brightly. "Hi, I'm Lily. Why are you sitting alone?" Nathan chuckled nervously. "I was supposed to meet someone, but she didn't come." Lily frowned. "That's mean." Her father caught up quickly, embarrassed. "I'm so sorry, sir. She's very curious." Nathan waved it off. "It's okay. Curiosity's a gift." The little girl leaned closer. "Do you want to sit with us instead?" He smiled weakly. "I don't want to intrude," but her father spoke up. "Actually, we'd be happy to have you." They sat together, Nathan, Lily, and her father, James, a school teacher who had lost his wife 2 years earlier. James ordered extra fries for Lily, who insisted on sharing them with Nathan. "You have to take 2, she said seriously. "That's the rule for friends." Nathan laughed, a sound that startled even himself. They talked for over an hour, about life, about loss, about second chances. Nathan found himself telling them things he hadn't told anyone, about the accident, about the pain of waking up to a body that wouldn't move, about the isolation that came with being admired but never understood. James listened quietly, nodding. "You know," he said gently, "I think sometimes the strongest people aren't the ones who walk away. They're the ones who keep showing up." Nathan's eyes stung. "That's easy to say when you can walk." James smiled softly. "No, it's not." He rolled up his sleeve, revealing a faint burn scar. "I was in the fire that took my wife. I couldn't save her. But my daughter, she saved me." Nathan looked at Lily, who was now giggling softly, feeding fries to her stuffed bear. "She doesn't even know what she did," James said quietly. "She gave me a reason to live again. When the bill came, Nathan insisted on paying." James shook his head. "You don't have to." Nathan smiled. "I want to." Lily grinned. "Then we can come back and have pancakes next time." Nathan chuckled. "It's a deal." As they left, Lily ran back and hugged him tightly. "Bye, Mr. Nathan. Don't be sad anymore, okay?" Froze. Then slowly, his hand, the one that trembled when he held his glass earlier, rose and rested gently on her head. "Okay," he whispered. "I won't." The next day, the cafe owner received a letter. It was from Nathan Cole. To the man and little girl who reminded me what life feels like. "Thank you. I left a small gift at the counter. Use it to help others who walk in alone." Inside the envelope was a check for $1 million with a simple note for coffee, kindness, and second chances. Weeks passed. The cafe transformed. Nathan funded a small program that provided meals to widowed parents, veterans, and anyone struggling with disabilities. He renamed it Lily's Table after the little girl who taught him to smile again. Every Friday, families came together, strangers sharing stories, laughter, and hope. And every Friday, Nathan sat at his favorite window seat, not waiting for anyone to show up, but watching as life came to him. Months later, Nathan met James and Lily again at the cafe. This time, Lily brought a drawing, 3 stick figures holding hands. She'd labeled them Me, Daddy, and Mr. Nathan. He laughed softly. "You made me part of your family?" She nodded. "You already were." Nathan felt something shift inside him, a peace he hadn't known in years. He realized that while the world had taken away his ability to walk, it had given him something far greater, the ability to truly see. In a world obsessed with perfection, this story reminds us that kindness doesn't need legs to stand tall. It only needs a heart that refuses to give up, because sometimes the people who rescue us from loneliness are the ones we never saw coming. If this story touched your heart, tell us where you're watching from. Would you have helped someone like Nathan? Subscribe for more cinematic, emotional stories that remind the world true strength isn't walking tall, it's standing up again on the inside.